Hello and good evening and welcome to Back to School Night. I'm Stacy Alve and I'm your child's English teacher here at Folsom High. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening. Let's get started. Okay, so here's my professional and academic experience. Here's why they allow me to be in the classroom with your children. So I'm actually entering my 10th year of teaching this year at Folsom High. This is my 5th year at Folsom High. I taught middle school before this in Elk Grove. I went to Sac State. I got my Bachelor of Arts there in English, and I also received my teaching credential there a few years ago. As you can see. Before that, I went to Sac City, so I am a product of this area. I'm also a former Cordova Lancer, so I was really happy to come back to my home district, and I'm super excited for this year. These are rules to live by in the classroom. Be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. That's about it. Okay, I am trying something new this year. I'm trying a new gradebook, okay, and it's called an Equitable gradebook. Our professional development over the summer was to read this book, Grading for Equity, and I absolutely fell in love with this. So I'm going to try it. So what is an Equitable gradebook? This is the first time I am using a weighted gradebook. Normally, like most teachers, I have used a points-based gradebook. Not doing that this year. Everything will be weighted. So everything is going to be based on your student showing their mastery of the standard. Okay? So it's no more kind of like fiending or grubbing for points. No more worrying about whether you turned the homework in on time and getting a penalty for it. Those are behaviors. Homework is a behavior. Cheating is a behavior. So I'm going to use logical consequences. If something's late, it's going to go in the grade book. It'll have the little L next to it, but it will not count against their grade. They'll get it turned in. Okay. What will be graded? They'll be graded on their mastery of the essential skills, and we'll go over what those are in this class in a little bit. So summative assessments will consist of tests, projects, papers, presentations, and those will be weighted in the grade book at 95%. So nearly the entire grade book are going to be those four things. Some formative assessments will consist of quizzes and shorter assignments and will be weighted on 5%. And I'm actually doing that for the students and for you to be able to see some change in their grade. And so you see some change. But the majority of everything else, classwork and homework, will all be put in the grade book. But as you may have already seen, it will count for 0%. So it will not count towards the grade. It will not count for them or against them. And the reason being, some kids may not need all of the practice, but some kids may need the practice. And so this is an opportunity for kids to really start learning how they learn and which classes they need to focus on. So I'm going to try this Equitable gradebook. I have a feeling it's going to go amazingly well, and my hope is I'm able to up my game next year. I just need to see how it goes this year. I'm super excited about this. Why I'm trying an Equitable gradebook. So this, I thought I was decent before. I thought I was a decent instructor before, but this really opened my eyes. I'm super excited to share this. I've also included this little diagram you can look at. The difference between a standards-based grading system, which is what this Equitable gradebook is going to help me do, versus this traditional grading system that most teachers do. And up until last year, I was doing it too. So this idea that students will be able to gain knowledge without fear of their timing being graded, their fear of behaviors being graded, right? Oh, I got to get it in. I've got to hurry up. I've got to make sure that this is in on the right time. Maybe their learning isn't on my timetable, right? Maybe their schedule isn't on my timetable. What I tell the students, I've told them this from day one, I can only control what goes on in these four walls during the time that I have them. Once they leave, once the bell dismisses them, I don't have control. I don't know what their responsibilities are at home or outside of school. So I really try and do as much as possible within these four walls during the time that I have them. And then they're not penalized if they're not able to get the assignment in, right when it was due. But I'm encouraging them to complete it. Okay. Students will learn to be intrinsically motivated to learn and complete assignments they need in order to gain mastery without the fear of penalty, right? Without the fear of the 50% or the 10% or the 100% off if they don't turn it in on time, okay? Alrighty, so missing and late work. Any and all missing and late work will be accepted without penalty until 1 week before the end of the quarter and 2 weeks before the end of the semester. Okay, so even if, as long as it says, like if it has a little M for missing, or even if it says 0, but it's not something that's counted in the grade book, I'll accept it so that they can do the work and they can gain the mastery. That's the point, right? That's supposed to be the whole point. Okay, oh, I did a duplicate slide. But here, I did add this. So here are the quarter and the semester dates. So quarter 1 ends in October. Semester 1 or quarter 2 ends in December. Quarter 3 ends in March, and then the end of the year and the end of the final semester ends in May. This one's kind of important, this one right here. All summative assessments must be submitted in order for your student to receive a final grade. So students who do not complete summative assessments, they don't finish the final, they don't turn in the final paper, they don't do the final project or presentation, they will receive an I for incomplete in my class. I will not fail them for not completing a summative assessment. I will simply say that they did not complete my class. So there are several little hoops that they have to go through to get rid of the I. Mainly they have to do the work. Okay? So if I'm saying that these are worth 95% of the grade, they're important, I want them completed. With that being said, we will have lots of time to complete in class. I like to give them as much time as possible to get their stuff done in class because, again, I cannot control what goes on at home. I cannot control what goes on outside of these four walls. So lots and lots of time in class to do assignments. That includes essays. Okay, that includes giving more time for tests if they need it. I can collect tests and they can do it during pause. Okay, but I will not accept them not doing the summative assessments. Okay, so I for incomplete if they don't complete one of the summative assessments. Okay, I need to be able to grade their summative assessments so that I can accurately give them a grade that reflects their mastery in that particular standard. So if we're only going to assess certain standards certain times of the year, I want all of those summative assessments in the gradebook. Okay, here's what we're reading this year. Quarter 1, we will be reading excerpts from the Odyssey. We will start that next week. Quarter 2, we're going to read excerpts from To Kill a Mockingbird. Quarter 3, we will read Of Mice and Men. I should have put a star by this one and actually To Kill a Mockingbird. I am assuming that is what our PLC is deciding. So if these change, I will definitely let you know. But I know for sure quarter 4 we are reading Romeo and Juliet. Okay, materials for class. They need a positive attitude. Why not? Why not? I tell them when they come into this class, I hope that their shoulders go down. I hope that this is a place where they're able to relax and learn in a safe environment. They need their Chromebook. I do not have a textbook, like an actual book, for this class. Everything is on, it's called StudySync. I'm sure you've heard maybe not very nice things about StudySync. I try my best to keep them off of it as much as possible because I know there's so much animosity towards it. But that is my textbook, so sometimes we have to delve in there. Okay, literature book, and this will be provided for by FHS when applicable. So if we read To Kill a Mockingbird, they will get an actual physical copy of To Kill a Mockingbird that they'll be responsible for until we return it. Same with Of Mice and Men, same with Romeo and Juliet. If you'd like to buy your child their own copy, you are more than welcome to, but it is not necessary. So they'll need those when applicable. Optional would be notebook paper. Sometimes we take notes if your student would prefer to take actual notes versus ones on Google Docs. You're more than welcome. Something to write with that is not neon, invisible, or a black Sharpie. But again, that's optional. I have pencils and pens here. Mainly number 1. Essential skills for semester 1. So remember, semester 1 goes from when we started on the first day until the end of December. Essential skills that we're going to focus on this semester. T-Bear paragraphs. You should be able to ask your student about their T-Bear Cornell notes that we took today in class. Introduction paragraphs we will go over in quarter 2. We will also start looking at the thesis statement. Cornell notes, we will start that when we start the Odyssey. Okay. We're going to read excerpts of the Odyssey, so any Odyssey assessments will be essential skills for semester 1. That'll be quizzes and tests. To Kill a Mockingbird assessment, same thing, quizzes and test. And then vocabulary lessons 1 through 5. We have our first vocabulary quiz this week. Okay, so those are essential skills that we will go over during semester 1. Semester 2, we will go over the conclusion paragraph. We will also go over MLA format and the 5-paragraph essay. Your student will write 1 full essay. And the reason for that being, I want to make sure that they have a really strong foundation in writing before they move on to the other grades. And it's kind of like a catch-all. 9th grade is kind of like a catch-all. I'm not sure what middle school they all went to. I'm not sure what was all taught in middle school, and last year being kind of what it was. I want everybody to be on the same page and be able to know what a T-Bear paragraph is, how to write an intro paragraph, how to write a conclusion paragraph, MLA format. And so the last essay will be on Romeo and Juliet. It will be a process paper that we predominantly finish in class. Okay, and I will provide frames. I'll provide packets with graphic organizers. This will be like a really rough outline of the essay, and then they can type it on their own. Okay. For semester 2, will be of mice and men quizzes and tests, the Romeo and Juliet assessments, quizzes and tests, and then vocabulary lessons 6 through 10, as well as quizzes and the final for those lessons. Okay. Semester 2 starts as soon as we get back from winter break, so early January to the end of May. Before I talk about contact information, I do want to make one thing clear about my class. If your child, because normally this might be a lie, but if your child is saying that he or she does not have homework in English, they're probably telling the truth. I try my very best not to give work that cannot be completed during class because, again, I can't control that time. Okay? So if you hear that there is no homework for my class, that's probably the truth. But you're always more than welcome to email me here, salbe@fcusd.org. This is the best way to contact me. I will respond to student emails first, even in the crazy, however many they send me. I'll always answer those emails first. Please allow me 2 business days to respond. So if you email on a Friday afternoon, I may or may not get it until Monday. But I'll always answer those ones first. So patience and grace, please. But I'll usually respond sooner than 2 business days. This is my extension, but I will be honest with you, I am teaching every period this year. So I'm teaching all 6 classes, so and my lunch is mine. So before school and after school, you're more than welcome to call me, but anytime in between there, I'm probably in class. All right, so I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. I hope your student is having a wonderful year so far being back. So glad to see your students' faces, or the part that I can see when we're in class. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a good evening.